the fact that our teaching faculty wanted an easier way to do grading in the laboratory, but also a number of our students are going into pre-medical, so they get used to using electronic resources for recording data and other pieces of information. Also, a number of our research labs here on campus have already moved into electronic laboratory notebooks, and so we thought it would be a good way to integrate our teaching experience into what the students might be using in the labs here on campus.
I needed a better method to track student progress in lab, something better than paper notebooks. I had students that would spend an entire semester in lab and only fill out 2 pages of the entire notebook. So I needed to keep track of that. One of the challenges that I was trying to overcome is that students weren't really writing much down while they were in the lab. The second challenge had to do with when students were writing things in their lab notebook. We require them to write down what they're doing as they do it in the lab, but many of them would go home and fill out their lab notebooks. So the timestamp feature in LabArchives is actually great.
Some of the challenges that we were facing were in terms of grading. LabArchives provides the opportunity to do all that electronically. Our TAs no longer have to carry around 50 or 100 lab reports around campus or home, potentially losing reports along the way. So that was one of our major challenges in looking at LabArchives as a potential resource for using in our particular lab situation. Well, we had been using a different electronic notebook product prior to using LabArchives, and we were looking for something easier to use, and we were having a conversation, and one of my TAs actually overheard it and suggested we look at LabArchives. We did. We loved the setups, easy to use, and therefore we investigated and got it integrated into our laboratory program.
Well, LabArchives actually contacted me. I saw an email message and I'd been looking to overcome some challenges in my laboratory courses, and I gave them some time to show me the product, and as soon as I started talking with one of the reps, I was really sold on the product. One of the things I like most about LabArchives Classroom Edition is the ability to push content out immediately to students, so I can create something and push it out right away to the entire class. The course manager is fantastic. My TAs grade items for students. They get immediate feedback, and also it's timestamped, so I know that students are actually doing their work during class.
LabArchives has given us the opportunity to follow the students' work as they progress through the various laboratory assignments. I can also use it to make sure that my TAs are doing their grading on time and providing adequate feedback to the students so they can adequately learn what's going on in the laboratory and make sure that they're prepared to do the next assignments. LabArchives provides a app for smartphones and iPads and the like, and our students really appreciate being able to upload their data directly using that particular app. From the TA's perspective, LabArchives provides them the opportunity to do the grading online. They no longer have to carry around large volumes of papers, and it makes it much more easy for the TAs to do the grading whenever they have a few minutes of additional time in their schedules.
The LabArchives Classroom Edition is great for the TAs because they don't have to carry paper notebooks back and forth with them. All of the work is recorded, and the TAs, students, and I can all go look at it at any time in one place. And the students tend to write more when they have the ability to type rather than what we used to have, when they were handwriting things in a paper lab notebook. When I set up my course in LabArchives, I typically create everything from scratch, though there are a lot of nice resources available. I tend to do everything on my own, and it's all customized to our particular campus.
LabArchives allowed us to electronically cut and paste our materials from our previous electronic notebook. We also have been able to incorporate videos from iTunes U, as well as other materials from our online course management systems. LabArchives has allowed the students to become, I think, much more engaged in the process of what we're doing in the laboratory. They can directly enter information into their electronic notebooks. They can go back and review materials very quickly. We can provide more examples, live examples for them in the laboratory. So I think it's an added student engagement that we weren't able to do with hard copy printed notebooks that we used in the past.
LabArchives has forced my students to really keep up with their work and get it done in a timely fashion rather than procrastinating and putting it off until they've gone home or later in the week.
LabArchives has allowed us to do screen captures of our various instrumentations, so spectra from an IR or from the UV vis. So we're not printing out those materials in the way we used to and throwing away thousands of pages of paper. We no longer are buying paper by the cases as we did in the past, so we've actually seen a reduction in the costs for our laboratory program.